Now I want to take a few minutes to show you how you can use the formulas feature to do some of this mathematical calculations for you. So the first thing that we need to know here is what the total number from our test was. And I just want to show you one cool trick. So each test was taken out of 10 points or 10 questions. And so I'm going to need to add that to all of my students here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to add 10 to the first. And then see how if I click on it, it's got this little square. When I get this little plus sign, I can take that and drag it all the way down. And it's going to go ahead and add 10 points to the total number for everybody that I drag and drop for. I'll show you again. So the post test is also out of 10 points. I add it to the first one. And then when I click on it, I get this little square. When I hover over the square, I get a plus sign and I can drag that all the way down. Ooh, and I missed one, so I'll go ahead and add 10 there. And that's just going to go ahead and add, duplicate what you had done in that first box. So now I want to go ahead and figure out my pre-test score. So in order to do that, all I'm going to do is push the equal sign on my keyboard. And when I hit equals in Google Sheets, it's going to tell it that I'm ready to do some kind of calculation, some kind of format, or some kind of sum or calculation. So what I want to do is I want to take the total number correct here, and I want to divide it by the total number available. So all I have to do after I hit that equal sign is click here, give it the good old forward slash, say I want to divide by, click on this cell. So I want this number divided by this number, and then I'm going to hit enter. And now it says my student Sam has a score of 0.4. Well, I know that's not correct. So I need to go ahead and format this cell. I want to tell it I really want a percentage. I want to know the percentage of what's correct. So I click percentage, and now it says I have 40%. Now, if you need those decimals, that's great. If you don't, that's also great. I can show you how to get rid of them. So with this cell highlighted, I'm going to come up here, and I can either decrease the decimal places available or I could increase them, depending on what you would need this number for. So I'm going to go ahead and decrease them because mine are all whole numbers. Now I want to replicate this same formula for all of my students, but I don't want to sit there and hit equals, click, click, enter all the way through. So I'm going to take that same skill I had once the cell is highlighted. I'll take this little plus sign and I'm going to drag it down. And instead of saying that I want 40% in each of these cells, it's going to say that I want that formula. So when I let go, it has now given each student their pretest score. So Sam has 40%, Erica has 50%, Holly has 30%. And I'll go ahead and I'll show you how to do it again. One more example using the post-test score. So I'll come up here and I'm going to push equals, telling Google Sheets that I want to do some kind of calculation. I'm going to click this number divided by this number, enter. Now it says that my student has scored 0.6, but we both know that I'm going to want a percentage, and I'm going to go ahead and decrease the decimal places here. Now that I have this in, the student has scored 60% on their post-test. I'm going to hover over, drag it all the way down, and drop, or unclick, I should say. Now you can see each of my students and their post-test score. Now something really neat that I like to do is I want to know the percent change. I want to know if they've improved or decreased. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do one more formula here, equals, and I want to know their post-test score subtracted their pre-test score. I'm going to hit enter. And it says this student has gone up 20%. Now I'm going to take that same formula dropping technique and drop it in there. And as I can see, all of my students have increased. I have 2 students who have not gone up or improved at all. But I want to show you what would happen if a student decreased. So this is just an example. So say this student had really scored 3 on their post-test, and I hit enter. The percent change is going to tell me they went down 10%. I just wanted to show you that as an example. I'm going to go ahead and put this student back to where they were. So that is how you can use some formulas to evaluate your data table.